Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci.
Tony, welcome to Go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Tony, 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 Tony.
Tony. You know, Tony.
Tony.
Tony Walker.
Tony Walker. Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker.
Forget about it.
Tony, pup, Tony, pup, 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 pup. Tony, pup, 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 pup. Tony, pup, 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 pup. Tony. Pup, pup, pup. Tony, pup. Tony, pup. Tony, pup, 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 pup. Tony.
We are so freaking proud of you. It's never too late to go back to college, turn your life around. It's been a rough few years. We know this is going to be the move that you need to change your life.
Yeah, Mikey, I'm really excited for you, pal. This is good. New beginnings, baby. Don't fuck it
Thank
up.
you very much. All right, here it is. Email just came in.
Let's see. Let's go.
I did not get in.
You didn't get in. It's fucking Nassau Community College. What the hell's your goddamn problem?
Holy shit, are you fucking stupid?
What a
or what?
stupid bum. You're going to be in your
my
mother's
God.
basement for the rest of your life. What a fucking loser.
Fucking idiot.
Piece of shit.
Idiot. Stupid as you look.
Dude, we are so freaking proud of you. It's never too late to go back to college, turn your life around. It's been a rough few years. We know this is going to be the move that you need to change your life.
And that's my story. Hi, everybody. It's the Knockem Day Comedy Show. Thanks for joining us today right here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, Facebook page, and YouTube, wherever you're watching. Please share the link on all your social media pages. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, including this one. And we're live from Governor's Comedy Club, and Diane is here. Woo! And that makes it all good. And it's Tuesday Trivia. We're going to play some Tuesday Trivia in a little bit. Oh, see, he's starting it already. See, all right, this was the first thing I was going to bring up. I'm a little, I'm going to fight. I'm fighting somebody today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but I'll start with this one. So last week, and I think it was last Thursday. So do you know Arno Hecht?
Yes, I do. Well, I don't know him personally, but
okay.
I know of him.
He
yes.
plays a lot on the local
yes,
scene.
and
but
I know I saw the advertisement. I knew he was going to.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Legendary sax player. You name the artists he's played with them, like major artists. I think he's played with everybody. So he was in here, and I read a comment from Romeo, and Romeo actually impressed me. He named a sax player that I never heard of, and sure enough, Arno had all sorts of stories about him. But I said, one of our listeners, John Rusiello, says, and I read the comment. I mean, I don't even think I was done reading his comment when a private message comes in. Listener? That's all I am is a listener?
When you said it, I knew what the problem was.
So we have a special announcement, ladies and gentlemen. As of tomorrow, this show will be called The John Rusiello Show.
I think it's very appropriate. It might be very appropriate.
Is that right? Is that what you think?
I think that would be okay with me.
Really?
I would come in here and co-host the John Rusiello Show with you.
Oh, you're killing me.
We could just make Tuesdays the John Rusiello Show.
John Rusiello Tuesdays?
John Rusiello Tuesdays. I'm all for it.
Wow. See, I got to make Diane a steak.
Dawn Rusiello, because, she's the sunshine.
She is the
I
backbone.
got here a little early today, which is so unlike me. So I had about 6 extra minutes, and we spent it mostly talking about what a ray of sunshine or an entire ball of sunshine Dawn is.
Right. I believe my words were, she is the sun.
He said she is the sun.
And,
correct.
Man, either he's got her so fooled, or he's just flashing a lot of green around. I'm thinking it's a little bit of both.
Listen, and either one couldn't be. I mean, if he's got her fooled, he's being, just spectacularly wonderful around
true.
her. And and a little cash, and you got it made.
After a divorce, and then God forbid you and Anthony broke up, would that be your thing? Be like, I just want a guy with money.
No.
Yeah. See, I knew it.
Doesn't impress me.
I knew it.
I just
See?
don't care.
Yeah.
I don't.
So we've been fighting since Thursday over this listener title.
Why don't you just apologize?
Well, I don't know.
Done with it.
I don't know if I said the words "I'm sorry,"
So maybe you should say the words.
But I did say to him, "Hey, look, it was just quick. I was just trying to quickly describe it to the guest who it was. I didn't mean it as a derogatory term.
But my question is, do you understand why he's upset? Even though you didn't mean it, is a little bit of a, like if you said, if you were dating somebody for a long time and, you were in a relationship and you said, this is my friend, and you introduce her as your friend. It's the same kind of, you may not have meant anything by it, but it was hurtful. So if you know it's hurtful to him, just say, I'm sorry. I was wrong. You're much more than a friend, and be done with it. You wouldn't be arguing all.
I have told him that I did say, I think it was just yesterday, I said, I really love the fact what close friends we've become through this show. I did say that to him just yesterday. I think I may have actually said the words, I'm sorry. I'm dead honest. I think I may have.
But maybe he doesn't remember, so why don't you just say it again?
Oh, come on now.
I'm not kidding.
I got to make Diane a steak.
Why are you
because then it comes on me if he didn't hear it, because he probably didn't hear it because he was too busy yelling over me.
Say it now and we all heard it. And then we can be done with
goodness.
it. Look into the camera and tell him you love him and you're sorry for hurting his feelings.
See, what is this, a Hallmark movie? Yes. The amount of ass did he flash some green at you while you were down there?
No, we bought you a nice steak, but that's not the point.
I'll buy you a nice steak
the
and then
point is, listen, I would apologize to you if I did the same.
You would never piss me off.
That's not true.
Well, that's totally
we haven't
true.
been together long enough. I will eventually piss you off. There's no doubt in my mind that I will eventually piss you off.
2 hours a week, almost every week, for almost a year.
Yeah, almost.
Although I do agree, it's not enough. We need to spend more time together with nobody else around. And
probably not going to happen.
Marvin Gaye music. Yeah.
Anyway, say you're sorry.
I'm sorry. Right, Rob said there's going to be a fight. That's a Laurel and Hardy thing. You made me laugh, Rob. Rob, I was just telling the story the other day of. All right, Rob, hang on. See, I stop almost every day. I stop mid-stories just to take his call, and I'm stuck.
That's great. That's why it should be named after him.
Good morning, my dear close friend.
Good morning, Diane, sweetheart. How are you?
Good morning, love. How are you?
All right, honey. I tell you, first of all, you always put your foot in your mouth, Walker.
Well, because always. I can take my foot off and put it right in my mouth.
And that's what I want you to do. I want you to take your leg and shove it right in your ass. In your mouth. I apologize. Okay. Let me tell you something. You said that my wife is with me because I have a lot of cash. All right. My wife has a job that if you put my two checks, I only get two checks. I only get my pension check and my Social Security check.
Right.
Okay. That's probably a quarter of my wife's income. She makes a very, very good salary. She's in as you old guys, she's in the medical field.
Very important.
She's in a cancer research field, and she makes a ton of money. And it's never. I go to her for money. She doesn't go for me to money. All right, believe me. And everything that I don't own anything. I think we had this conversation when you were in my house.
So the point is, it's pure love. That's why she's there.
Yes, exactly right. Now, is she a little mentally challenged because she loves me? That's another story.
That just makes her perfect for you.
But as far as cash, she's the breadwinner in this house, boy. Let me tell you.
I love it. Now I love her even more.
Yes, she's good. All right. And Mr. Walker, I would accept your left-wing apology because I'm the better man in this relationship. Okay, so
what do you mean by left-wing apology?
Well, because you never said you didn't have the manhood to get on camera and look you straight in the eye, the camera straight in the eye, and say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." But that's all well and fine.
I'm pretty certain I said it to you on the phone off. Well, yeah, we were off the air, but I'm pretty sure I said it to you off the air.
I don't recall, and if you did, I apologize.
Oh, see
because
that?
I am
Look at you both being big men. I love it.
I don't recall that, but if you did, all right, I'm going to take your word for it, and I apologize. But so I think we should put this under the bridge.
I agree.
Right? Leave it alone. Yes, leave it alone because it's going to take about another 15, 20 minutes before you step on your dick again. But that's okay. But as far as
that's right, which happens often because it's so big.
Well, that's good. Hey, listen. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, you can stuff it. You have a compartment where you can stick it in your other leg. All right. I love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Aw, see.
That was funny. All right, John Rusciello checking in. All right, fine. I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to upset you.
I believe you now. See
that?
was sincere.
But yes, that was sincere.
Good for you, Walker. Look at us making progress.
It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Diane. I'm telling you right now. I think I said that a couple weeks ago that I was going to try and get a steak in here, but I got to write this down. Next Tuesday, steak.
So crazy.
Next
It's
Tuesday.
too early.
It's never too early for steak.
It's too early. There's no place to get a steak at 11 o'clock in the morning.
What's your equivalent then of something that you eat this time of day that's equivalent to a steak?
I don't really eat this time of day except for, Sundays or whatever. I don't eat breakfast in the morning usually. Oh, that's not true. Wednesdays I buy egg sandwiches for a couple of people at work like this. I bring them breakfast.
You bring them breakfast?
Yeah.
Jeez. It's amazing.
Yeah. So Wednesday's egg sandwich day.
All right. So, and I'm not trying to go like cheesy here, but since you don't eat steak this early, what if I brought just like a gift card to a steak place?
You don't have to buy me
No,
things.
it would totally be worth it because then you'll take my side when I fight with John.
I'm trying to help you be a better person, Tony, and explain to you why an apology was in order. Only because I know you didn't mean it, but that's
Right.
not always the most important part. The
Well,
part
I
is
agree 100%.
He was hurt, and so
Yes.
you needed to fix it. That's it. Done. And if you did that and let it go, I'm telling you, your life would be so much easier. You wouldn't have all this conflict. But then you probably wouldn't have much to talk about. So
Exactly.
I mean,
Oh.
there's that.
Well,
I got you.
and that's the thing. We've been every time we fight about it, it
I know.
ends with a big laugh.
I
But,
gotcha.
In fact, I even said to him yesterday when we talked. I said, we're gonna have some fun on this topic tomorrow, and he said, "Oh, absolutely." So there you go. All right. So, so I was about to tell Rob. I told a story here the other day. Was it with you? I told the story about the couple having sex.
I don't think you told it with me. Yeah.
So this was years ago. I was a teenager, and I was with Frank.
Oh, in the house, you were sitting in the car.
Yes,
You did tell
it was
that
with
story
you.
when
Yes.
I was here.
So Rob
Yes,
Safarth, who
yes.
commented a few minutes ago, he was the guy. He was the third guy. It was me,
In the
Frank,
car.
In the
Oh,
car.
okay.
Yes.
Cool.
So yeah, Rob, I was telling that story the other day, and for the life of me, I remember that night. I remember them in the window, and I've told Rob this before.
And that Frank went up to the window.
No, I
Oh,
did.
you did, but you didn't remember it. They
Right.
remember it, but you don't remember
Right.
going up to the window. Yes.
And I know that they've told me that so many times, so I believe them, but I don't have any recollection.
That's so stalkery of you.
It's so stupid. Yeah, I believe it because I was always that guy. I was always that guy doing something stupid. I was always the first to laugh. Also, me, Rob, and Frank, we were walking through. What was it? What was Costco before it was called Costco? It was called something else.
Price Club.
Price Club. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking through a Price Club, and again, this is years ago. We're coming towards the end of an aisle. Just as a guy walks into the aisle, this guy had the worst wig we've ever seen in our lives. And I immediately...
You couldn't.
I
yeah.
couldn't. I'm that guy, which I'm not always proud of, but I'm that guy. All right, so I'm going to tell you why. Another reason I'm going to fight today.
Okay, go ahead.
And this one...
There's going to come a time when I'm going to give you permission to fight, and I'm going to say, let's go, I'm with you, and I'll fight too.
And I think this just might be the day.
It's going to happen. Go ahead.
So...
Maybe not today, but it might happen.
Oh, it might. It will. So, at PAL, I don't know what it is. Lately, I love the PAL. I love the particular unit of the PAL that I work in. And I love the participants. Friday nights is, if I'm not working somewhere, I'm at the special needs basketball league that we have. Saturday mornings we have our bowling. We have all sorts of different programs. But those two are the two that I always hit every week. And we have a nice community. Friendships have formed between the participants and the parents, and it's just great all around. But lately, the past few months, some parents are driving me nuts.
Uh-oh.
Some parents are driving me nuts. None of because, some of our participants, there's a wide
levels, right?
wide range of levels.
Okay.
So we have it set up where none of our programs are drop off. And I understand we have some guys who are on a low level, some guys who can drive a car and get themselves to our programs. I get it, but
the rules apply to everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Even the guys that drive, some of them might have, some kind of meltdown sometimes. Unfortunately, that's just the case. I can't tell you how many times I catch a parent sneaking out, or the kid sneaks in by himself or herself. I'm like, this has become a regular thing, and I'm going crazy. I'm fighting with parents over this, and and then, like I said, bowling and basketball. Most of our programs are sports, not all of them. But these parents, I don't know if if your son played Little League or anything, but the type of parent I'm talking about. The ones that take it so seriously and, they're sore winners, and we have that sometimes here too. Not as bad, but we do have some. And just maybe a month or two ago, I had to separate some parents because they were fighting over a technicality in bowling. I was like, are you kidding me?
We're here to have a good time.
Right.
We're not, right.
Our guys, I can't find the words, but they're not taking it as seriously as a typical kid. It's not
about the winning as much as it is
Right.
about the participating.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what it's supposed to be. Right? Being part of something
Right.
and having fun.
We do have a competitive bowling. We have a competitive basketball. And sometimes we'll go into tournaments where some of the higher functioning guys are seriously competing, which is great.
That's not the part that's important.
Right.
Okay.
For the 98% of the time, we're running a program where it's just for fun, it's for social experience, it's to get these guys out and to do something. And even when no matter what sport we're talking about, but no matter what it is, the guy on the other team scores a goal or bowls a strike, whatever, the other team is shaking him, shaking hands.
Yeah.
They don't. Some of them keep score. Some of them might be a little pissed off if they lost, but by the time they're walking out of the building, it's
Everybody's
forgotten.
friends. Right. Okay.
Forgotten. Some of them even might go out for lunch after together. They don't care. They've lost it. They've lost sight of that stuff. But this one particular parent, one of the ones who was arguing at bowling a month or two ago, this guy is like a regular yeller, a regular complainer. Okay. And he doesn't I think maybe once he's come and said, hey, look, I need to talk about this. The rest of the time, it's all, you're singling out my son, you're unfair to my son. And it's screaming and yelling. I'm like, shut up, calm down, let's talk. And as a president, because I'm the president, I can't say, shut up. I have to, okay, come here. What's going on? I've given this guy time every single time he's yelling and screaming. He's made some crazy accusations. He's gotten in the face of some coaches. He's been ridiculous. One time he handed me, about a year ago, he gave me a note. But the note was about this long. I'm holding about 7 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. He handed me a letter. So this past Friday, we were at basketball, and so what happened was we brought a youth organization from a church in Wantaw, asked if they could. They don't really. It's a youth group. It's not a basketball league, but playing basketball is one of the things that they do
for fun, right? Okay.
So they said, and one of the mothers came to me and said, I know this guy that runs this youth group. Turns out I know the guy too. Total coincidence. So we got to talking, and he said, yeah, we'll come play once in a while. Our guys against you. It's all for fun. It's like scrimmaging, joking around. So they came about a month ago, and then they came again this past Friday. Especially our higher functioning guys who like to compete. They're always asking, we need another team. We want to play against somebody. Okay, great. So and we have 25, 30 kids, just, ourselves.
Okay.
Participants, and most of them aren't kids. And they had, I think, maybe 10, 15. So we broke it up into groups. So there were, I think, 4 groups. And it was the same group. Like, they all stayed together. So the first group went. It was, I don't know, I think a 4-minute period, whatever it was. They played. Then the next group, then the next group.
Right.
So we had 4 altogether. And so each 4 were told, you guys are a group A, Group B, whatever.
And when we tell you to go in, you go in as a group.
Right.
And then
so
come out
it's
as a group.
The same group, the same
and they switch
group
in
of
and
kids.
out so that everybody gets to play.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and we only play for an hour. So 7:30 to 8:30. So it's 8:25. They're sending in. So the guy who's coaching, he says, okay, each group got 3 chances on the court. We have 5 minutes left. He's just like, screw it. Group A. And so
just picked one.
Right. So Group A was going in a 4th time.
Okay.
Now here comes this.
Why wasn't it my kids' group?
Well, it's a little different. First off, I hear him. I just hear commotion.
Here we go.
I turn around and he's walking across the court and he's screaming, "This is not right. It doesn't work this way. Why is it always my kid?" Blah, blah, blah. I said, so first I get him off the court, and then I go, and I said, I just had it. I go, "What now?" Like that. And I normally don't do it that way.
But it was enough.
And he goes, so it turns out his son's group, I forget, each group got out, I think it was 3 times, maybe 4, whatever it was. But his son's group was 1 less. And the coach was like, no, they all got the equal. That's why I'm sending this one group out because, we're just running out the clock. This guy's insisting, but he's yelling the whole time. So stop yelling.
Right.
Then we'll get to the issue.
Right.
So I'm saying it to him at one point. I'm trying to push him away, not push him away, but get him away from the coach. And I don't know if it was his jacket, his son's jacket, but he threw it. And whatever else in his hand, a couple other things went flying. Not flying, but he threw it. He definitely threw it down. So in my head, I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. You're going to start. So he's off to the side. I go now to his son. I go, how many times were you out there? So let's say everybody was supposed to get 3 chances. He says, yeah, my team got 2. I go back to the coach. I said, he's saying it's 2. He goes, no, everybody was out there 3 times. So I go back to the kid. I go, who else is on your team? Points them all out. I go to each one because they weren't, they were kind of, no, we were out there twice. Okay, no problem. I go back to the coach. I said, look, the players are saying it was 2. I said, the father's making accusations. I'm not making accusations. I said, these guys aren't going to make it up. They're not having, they didn't conspire together.
Right.
I said, my understanding, the way I'm looking at this, it's just an honest mistake, which I don't care about.
Right.
It happens all the time.
Right.
And the coach he completely disagreed. He was, no, they're all out there the same amount of time. And he eventually softened up, but you could see it in his face, like he didn't really believe it.
But,
yes.
To just give in and say, okay, if this is what everybody thinks,
right.
Again, same situation.
Exactly.
How they feel is more important than what actually happens sometimes.
And there's a few coaches because it's special needs, and one of them was working the scoreboard. At this point, with all this going on, it is now like 8:29. So it's about to end. So I turn to these coaches and I go, look. I said, can you just give me 2 minutes? Literally 2 minutes on the clock. Get that group out there. I yell over to the other team, Play one more 2-minute period? Yeah, sure. Like, nobody cared.
Right.
They did their 2 minutes. Everybody's now happy. The kids are happy. Again, the other team didn't mind. And really, what's 2 minutes?
What's 2 minutes?
Right.
To make everybody happy.
So everything is great. So at this point, I go back to the father. I go, see, everybody's happy now. I said, that's all you had to do was come to me to tell me what's going on. Well, it's not right. It's always my son. I said, it's not. I said, and honestly, I don't know why you have to scream and yell all the time. Why can't you just come to me and tell me what's going on? I said, I have never ignored you. I said, I said, you're ridiculous. I walked away. Now, and then that's it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Until, I'm like that with anything. You want to disagree with me on something, I'll sit here and talk to you all day as long as you don't start putting me down, calling me names, or being condescending.
Right. No reason for
I will have a respectful conversation, and I've done it. And there have been times somebody else has changed their tune, or I'll say, you're absolutely right. But I don't like being messed with, and I don't handle it well.
Uh-huh.
So sure enough, yesterday, this guy has, which I don't know if anybody reads him anymore, this guy has a blog.
Okay.
And he went on Facebook with the same, he must have just copied and pasted, but he told the story on Facebook. Sure enough, there's comments. Oh, I'm so sorry this happened to your son. I'm like,
Yes,
son of a bitch.
I know. And that's a cry for attention when they do that, right?
Yes.
Now I'm trying to get attention. People on my side only telling my side of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
But your side is not accurate.
Right.
And he never mentioned the PAL by name, but enough there were several comments, plus 2 people on our board and my wife got phone calls from mutual friends. Hey, did you see this post?
Yeah.
So he didn't have to mention them by name. Like, they know.
There were enough people who knew.
So, I felt it made me and the PAL look bad. So I was like, you son of a bitch. So I responded, and I blasted this guy. Not as much as I would have liked to, but I did. I went after him, and it just really irked me. Like
It should. That should irk you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go public and then you got to tell the whole story.
And be truthful.
Right.
Right.
And that's what I was writing. Did you talk about? I said you didn't mention how you were throwing your coat. You didn't mention how you were yelling and screaming and everybody's looking. And he said something about how somebody else saw what we did to their kids and they were talking about it. And I said, I said, well, I've had parents come to me about your yelling. Like, I just went,
Right.
I blasted them. And it's just, it's been, I'm ready to fight.
There's always somebody.
It's amazing to me. It's amazing, especially in that. I mean, it's amazing to be in any situation.
There are
but in that world in
people that
particular.
are just not happy unless they're bitching about something or unhappy about something, right? It's their life's purpose to complain. Right?
Yeah.
And that's just his personality. That's who that guy is. Poor kid. And then you're in a situation where if it escalates and you have to say, don't bring your kid here anymore, you're hurting the kid. So now that's on you. That's a terrible position to be in because you don't want to do that.
Which I don't want to do. We have had to suspend parents, not the kid. So we'll say to them, if somebody else wants to bring him or her, fine.
Okay, I was going to say somebody has to
You're
come.
suspended.
Right,
Yes.
still, because if you let them off the hook on that, then they're like, oh, this is good, I'll just be a dick, and then they won't make me come anymore.
And that was the thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parents we caught several times leaving early or doing something. And after a while, and then, of course, other parents are doing it. And it's me yelling then back at the PAL. So I didn't sign up to be a babysitter.
Right.
Like to sit there every week and now look to see what parent is here, who's got this one.
Right.
Like it's draining. And then to fight with the parents about it too, like for crying out. But it does amaze me just how many parents, do sneak out or don't pay attention. It's crazy. So, don't mess with me today, sons of bitches. John still has a T-bone between his legs from that night. Oh, all right, Fremda's here. And sending Dawn a big hug. Okay.
She deserves it.
Mickey says, good morning, sweet, sexy, beautiful Diane. Mickey, it will take Tony a long time to be a better person. Whoa, hey!
Oh,
see that?
He's a good person.
See that, Mickey? See? I'm going to fight Mickey.
No, don't fight Mickey.
Okay.
He doesn't mean it.
Oh, Frank is asking, you don't remember what you said when you looked in the window? What do you mean what I said? They didn't see me. I didn't have a conversation. Oh no, I know what he's talking about. It just hit me. I didn't say it when I looked in the window. I think I was still in the car actually. If my memory serves me right, so the guy's name was Howie. That was the guy who lived there, and this, he was.
Oh, so you knew who these people were?
This was my mother's house. My mother lives in the second floor of a house.
And so they were the renters.
They were the renters on the first floor.
Okay, and you might have said that, but I lost that part of the story.
We weren't just sitting outside somebody's house stalking.
But it was people you knew.
Oh, yeah.
That's so much worse.
But that's why we were there, because we were just hanging out in front of the house. And, Howie and his girlfriend started going at it right there in front of the window. So, what Frank is talking about is, and it became just like an inside joke, because we were in the car. It must have been just as they were getting started, because we didn't know what was going on, and we weren't sitting there looking at the window. We were just hanging out.
Happened to notice something was going on.
Well, yeah, the light was on. It was 20 feet away, and she was a little vocal. So at one point I yelled, "I saw Howie's ass! I saw Howie's ass!" And that's just been a running joke, all these years. I mean, this has got to be almost 40 years ago.
Wow. Yeah.
But so it's been a running joke. But I think that's and Rob says, I remember what he said. But that was in the car, right? There's no way I said anything while I'm standing at the window. Hey, can you guys quiet it down a little bit? But and my mother's still in that same place. How much is that Tony in the window? Thank you, sweetie. You're amazing, says Romeo. See, that's the problem. I don't know if he's talking to you. I don't know if he's talking to Ann.
The hug for somebody threw a hug to Dawn, and
oh, okay.
Right? I think that's what that was.
That's one of the reasons I call you a hero. You volunteer from your heart, and you take shit from assholes like him. Well, I appreciate that, but my definition of hero is not somebody that just volunteers to fight with parents or even handle kids. My version of a hero is someone who really saves people from trouble. Fremder. No, it's not. New rule: no one's allowed on the team if their father's name is Karen. This guy sounds like the dog that wouldn't stop barking. Old Yeller. Yeah, pretty much. The inside joke almost turned into an outside yoke. Frank is saying I said that at the window.
Now that would be funny.
So you're telling me I'm standing at the window yelling back to you guys that I saw his ass?
That's so great. I'm going to believe that version of the story.
Rob, are you still there? I need you to verify that. I don't know why I don't remember that part. You would think that would be the part I remember most.
So you remember sitting in the car saying, I saw Howie's ass. You don't even remember getting out of the car.
I don't remember getting out of the car.
Yeah.
We were sitting and Rob had this black Mustang with tinted windows, and I just remember that. Hello, sir. Hello, pal.
Why can't you just take a compliment and just leave it alone?
I said thank you.
Do this. Always do this. How many? Shut up. How many people?
Shut up.
How many men would take the responsibility that you take and volunteer your time to make the PAL special needs a success?
Plenty. I didn't start it. There were guys before me.
It doesn't make a difference. You brought it to, and I know for a fact you brought it to a next level.
It doesn't make your contribution less because there were others before.
Oh, right.
Exactly right. Thank you.
And I agree with that. But he's saying how many men singling me out. I didn't do anything differently than these guys. And then I don't know what.
No.
I don't know what you mean.
We're not saying they're not heroes too.
Okay.
I was told by a particular source that is not going to be mentioned on the air that you brought the PAL special needs to a next level. When you took it over, you brought it to the next level. Now, this guy doesn't really know you. He doesn't have a child in the program, but he's a Nassau County cop who I'm friend of a friend with. And I mentioned the PAL, and he says, oh, yeah. He says, they really do wonderful things there. And this guy, Walker, that's exactly what he told me. This was months ago. This guy, Walker, brought it to the next level. He says he does a lot.
Unsolicited. See, that's the kind of stuff that really counts. So it wasn't like
Exactly
they were talking
right.
about you. That guy just brought you up.
Yeah.
That's great.
I agree. And I accepted the compliment. I said, thank you. I just told you my opinion. My definition of hero is different.
You know, sometimes you say too much. Less is more. Okay? You want to fight? Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready for you, pal. I tell you, you know, if you were Jewish and I was Jewish, they would call you a mensch. Do you know what a mensch is?
I do, actually, yes.
Okay, so you're a mensch. All right? Even what you do on this show, you volunteer your time with this show. You make people smile. You make people happy. Okay? Looking at your face, we laugh. We make people happy. And I'm not calling it anymore, so don't piss me off.
Don't piss him off.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
See?
Vicky says, good morning. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Frank is insisting it was at the window. Rob Safar says it was in the car.
Oh, okay.
From one butt cheek says to the other, we'll get through this shit together. Frank, I remember him going up to the window, yelling that, and running back to the car. I don't think so. I don't think so. I remember, too, as we sat there watching, I was definitely in the car. And I remember, like, we had the windows up, and we weren't yelling, yeah, go, yeah. We weren't doing anything like that. We were laughing, but we were there. I mean, and they were going for a
You
while.
were more embarrassed by it. Probably, you thought it was funny and embarrassing, and you weren't going to make a scene. You didn't want to call attention to yourself.
Definitely worried
Right.
we were going to get caught.
Okay.
And they're going, and they were like, it was almost like she interrupted. Like, they were going full throttle, and all of a sudden, she gets up and closes the window and shuts the blinds. So I don't know if she just realized it or heard us or what happened there, but yeah, we did wonder if, like, was there a little noise? Did we?
Okay.
Although I don't think could have been louder than her. The window was the shades were up and the window was open.
Wow.
And which is why I didn't think I said anything, when I went to the window. But I mean, and she was. I don't think we're the only ones that got a show.
I wonder if they remember that. That's just funny.
Well, yeah, I mean that guy moved out of. He moved out of there. I mean, my mother's been there 43 years. She's been in that same place. And yeah, that guy moved out of there shortly. Shortly after that. So I have no idea.
My parents have been in their house almost. Well, my dad passed, but
Yeah.
my mom's been there now almost 70 years.
The same house.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So I wouldn't move either if I had a brothel behind me.
Well, I don't think it's I don't. You know what? Honestly, don't know. I don't think it is anymore.
Can you imagine, like, somebody comes in to, like, if she's selling that house, somebody comes in to look at it? A lot of bedrooms in this house. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would. Oh, that would be awesome to live behind a brothel.
It really was not. There wasn't a lot.
You never, out of
felt
curiosity,
different.
went inside, huh?
No.
You never said to any of the girls, hey, give me a tour.
No. They didn't. I would imagine they didn't even know we knew.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. We knew it. They were hang out there. They'd sunbathe out there. Then when they'd go inside, or one would go inside and come back out. They were friendly. They were nice women. The woman who owned the house was nice. It was.
Yeah, you had
and the
mentioned
yard
that.
was well kept.
Yeah.
I mean, it was quiet.
And you also
It
said
was-
the girls. You didn't get the impression these girls were there forced
Against their will.
against their will. That's
No,
what's
not at all.
And they were of age.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking like
I was a
teenagers.
kid.
Right.
And they were older.
Yeah, they were.
They
Okay,
were,
right,
you know,
right.
certainly in their 20s. You know, they were older and they were just nice to us. You know,
I have
they would
never
say hello.
Yeah, and that's great. I've never ever heard of a brothel being right there in the middle of a neighborhood.
There probably are a
I'm
lot
sure
of
there's
them
plenty
if
of
you
them.
don't- yeah.
I just haven't done my research close enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Fremder, currently outside right now putting on an upside down pineapple on my red lawn chairs. Frank says, do you remember sitting in the car where a guy on a bicycle rode by? Vaguely. What happened? Did he say something to us or we said something to him? There was some kind of interaction. I that's all I remember, Frank. I remember one time Rob threw me out of the car while he was driving.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Well, no, he stopped.
Oh, okay.
He stopped the car and he looked at me and said, get out. So I did. And then he drove away, and then, I don't know, I think like 20 minutes later he came back.
Came back to get you?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I vaguely remember a guy riding by on a bicycle. I remember McDonald's, back when Hicksville wasn't crowded and back when it wasn't like Queens. I don't know if you're familiar with Hicksville.
No,
Well, you work there, so you have some idea.
Well, now I've been here 10 years, almost 10 years. But other than that, there would have absolutely been no reason for me to ever come to Hicksville.
You haven't noticed a change in the past 10 years? Yeah, it's probably not as much.
I don't know. To me, honestly, Nassau County was the city. Like,
Yeah.
I was a Suffolk County girl. The furthest west I traveled was to the Massapequa Mall, the Sunrise Mall, and that
And
was
that's
it.
like Suffolk border.
There would be
yeah.
no reason. You know, anything beyond that to me was like Queens.
Well, and now that makes
So-
sense because Hicksville is very Queens-ish. But back when we were kids, it wasn't as bad. And I mean, we're now.
Not in the neighborhoods. It's really just like that main thorough,
Yes.
you know, 107, Hicksville Road. I mean, the
Yeah.
parts of it, you know, as you head north.
It's slowly getting closer and closer to the neighborhoods, which
you know,
bothers
from
me.
where we are at Grand Prix, or like say up to the expressway is, yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, if
But it used to have, it used to be a normal town where it only had one McDonald's. Now it has, I think, 4 or 5. But anyway, this is the one on 107 by the expressway. It was kind of different. Like it had rooms. Like it wasn't just open and people sat on their benches. Like it was almost like a fancy McDonald's. Had separate rooms, nice tables, and almost like private rooms almost.
Oh.
And one night we were sitting and we were teenagers, although I probably would still do this today. We would go into these private rooms where we would go late at night. We're teenagers. We have nothing to do. So we'd go to McDonald's and just sit there for hours. And we would find one of the rooms where nobody else was sitting. We go and we'd eat our food and we would fart because you're sitting on these McDonald's benches. So
Yeah.
like make it
you
louder.
make the noise, yeah.
And we would laugh and have fun. And one night we weren't doing that because there was a
People
group
around you.
people right next to us. I'm sitting next to Frank, and Rob Seyfarth is in the booth, across from us on the table by himself. And we're just sitting there, just doing our thing, talking, laughing. And all of a sudden, there was zero interaction with the group behind, and they were behind Rob's, on Rob's side. All of a sudden, I mean, it was a full large fry just dumped on his head.
Really? For no reason?
No
Were you
reason at
saying
all.
Anything?
Nothing. I mean, come on. Frank. Frank was always, as...
But it was, they dumped him on Frank's head?
No, they dumped
Oh,
on. But I'm just saying, Frank wouldn't.
He wouldn't be in a conversation that was,
Right.
yeah, seedy.
So there was not, and actually, to Rob's credit too, he wouldn't do anything like that either. Just me, but I did nothing. I'm telling you, nothing.
This time you didn't.
They will verify that.
Okay.
And it was just completely out of nowhere. They stumped the fries on his.
What a waste of fries.
That's what I
God,
said.
It's like, I would probably have eaten. Oh, thank you.
Definitely worth the laugh, though. I laughed my ass off, and then I think we just threw some back, and I think that was the end of it, if I remember right. But yeah, we've had a lot of weird instances like that. Let's see, Frank. You yelled like Animal from the Muppets and almost knocked him off the bike. No, I don't remember that at all.
But I could see that's probably true. Right? Can you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably true.
I'm still that guy. If I have people in the car with me and I'm driving, there's somebody walking, hey, Bobby! I have no idea who it is. I still do that to this day. But, I'm not scaring them or doing anything wrong. I'm just waving.
Right, I know.
Most of the time they wave back. Sometimes you get...
Who are you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which makes it all worth it.
I'm one of those people that just waves back.
Right.
Because it's very possible they know me or I know them or, and I don't want to be rude. So I'm like, hey, how you doing?
I don't care who it is. Just, hey.
I don't know who you are.
I get it all the time. Hey. And I do. We're similar in that sense. We know a lot of people. And my wife always says it, my God, where are we going? And Don Sill is my wife's cousin. That's how I know Don.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
but I think the difference. So I have met a lot of people, right? So I'll come across people who know me or think they know me, and will say hello, and they look familiar. So I'll have a conversation, but I don't really remember who they are.
Yeah.
And Anthony's the opposite. He knows a lot of people, but he knows every single person. He knows when he met them, what their name is, who they're, he knows everything about everybody. He remembers everybody. I don't have that at all. I have a hard time with names. I have, but he does. He's got that Forrest Gump Rain Man memory thing. I don't have it.
I recognize faces, and I can tell you where I know them from, but their names.
The details escape me all the time.
Yep.
Unless there was some kind of specific incident that happened that, I would recall. I don't.
Yeah.
He remembers everything.
And Don said that. It came up recently. Him and Lisa were talking, and Don said that. He goes, I've never known anybody that, everywhere we go, he sees
you bump
somebody.
into somebody you know.
Yeah, I mean, Florida, I bumped into people. Connecticut, I bumped into people.
We went to Florida. I bumped somebody on the plane, and then I always see people I know somewhere.
Yeah.
In Disney World, go to Disney World, and the last time we went to Disney,
Yep, that's happened to me at Disney.
Bumped into a bunch of people. It's crazy.
Even the first time I went to England, I didn't bump into somebody I know, but somebody I know posted on Facebook that they're there. I was like, hey,
I'm here too.
And they were like, okay, I'm not going to see you. I'm like, because I even said, so why don't we get together for lunch? No. I'm like, okay. So I know a lot of people. They just don't like me. No, Tony, that's not true at all. She's like, yeah, I know.
No. I would meet you for lunch. Fine.
Frank says the fries thing. A small handful of fries came over first. I remember Rob throwing them back. Then the whole thing came over.
The whole thing got
done.
done.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
I knew there was a little back and forth, but okay. But so what? So I yelled at what does that mean? I yelled like Animal from the Muppets.
When the guy came by, you went, ah!
Yeah, is that what you
and
mean?
then he fell off the bike.
And then, it freaked him out. So but he said almost knocked him off the bike.
Right.
All right, so he didn't fall off the bike.
Startled him, and he probably. That's kind of funny, and I could see you doing that.
Oh, I totally believe it.
Yeah.
I totally believe it. One time I almost got beat up. I was with my friend Joe Murphy, and he did a similar thing. Some kids were walking. He was driving the car, and he just went, blah, like that. I remember that so well. He went, blah. And I forget where we were going, but I think he messed up or we forgot something. I forget, but we ended up, we had to go back. And these kids that he did that to, we were passing them again, and they threw a full beer bottle at us.
Oh, that's bad.
I was like, whoa. And then Joey stupidly stopped the car to confront him. And then we lost. Frank is saying, the guy almost fell, but he didn't. Okay. He just said yep, basically. The smell in the air isn't McDonald's, says Fremder. It's the 4 times the amount of assholes farting cheeseburgers. Yeah. What's the, I don't want to say craziest or maybe stupidest thing that you've done? There must be something. No? No, you've always been cool and reserved and smarter.
I do stupid shit all the time.
All right, name one. I don't believe it.
Just yesterday, I had to go. It was raining all day. I was at work. my car acted up over the weekend. So when I got to work, I drove it right into the service drive and had them looking at it. So I needed to go to DMV and I needed to go over to our office to pick up a check or something. So I took a car out of the lot and I dropped the key down the seat. And I guess while I was reaching in down to try to get the key, the trunk popped and I didn't realize it. And I pulled straight out and I was driving. Luckily someone ran out the door and the trunk was all the way up, like in my I don't know what I was doing that I didn't notice that. But I was going to drive with the trunk popped
but
up.
I'm not
That's
talking
stupid.
about I'm not talking about that kind of stupid. We're sitting there talking about like stupid shit that I did on purpose, basically.
On purpose stupid shit?
Like yelling out the window or something stupid. Like I don't think you've ever done anything like that.
I mean, I might have, but I don't, as a rule, just on purpose do stupid
Other
shit.
than your sister, have you ever been in a fist fight?
Yes.
Really? All right,
Yes.
tell us about that.
It was middle school. There was a girl and I was little tiny. We were tiny when we were younger. And, didn't. I went to high school and I was like 65 pounds by the time I got to high school. So this is middle school. We were still we hadn't grown at all. And then we did like a growth spurt like boys where I went from like 4'10" to 5'3" in 1 year. And then that was the end of it. Right. So in middle school, still teeny tiny. And there was this one girl, I still remember her name, but I'm not going to say it, who was a bully. She was just a bully. She was just mean, and I stupidly was just one of those people who just wasn't going to take it. And so we were in the locker room in the gym. It was after gym, and she yelled something, and I just like put down my shit and like walked right up to her and said something back in her face, and she was probably like here, and she came after me and I threw a few punches and she hit me a couple of times and somehow we wound up like toppling over the bench and then and people were screaming and then the gym teacher came in and pulled her off and we got reprimanded and I don't even remember what it was about.
Now, when you said she yelled directly at you?
Yes, she yelled something over to yes, I think she yelled something over to me and I yelled and I had just had enough and I went back at her and
good for you.
Would have gotten my ass kicked, I'm sure, but I was kind of scrappy and not afraid.
Nice.
Like, at all. Yeah, so.
Have you seen, now you went to your reunion?
I did, I haven't seen, no.
She wasn't there?
I honestly don't remember if she even went to high school with us after that. That was a middle school memory, and yeah. And I know, I probably should have been afraid, but I wasn't. And I had a fist fight with a boy in 6th grade because he kept bugging my sister to go out with him and she wouldn't. It was upsetting her. And finally I went to him and I said, "Leave my sister alone." And I don't remember what his answer was. And I said, "Then meet me out back after school." And the whole school marched out to the field.
I remember
and there
those
was a
moments.
fist fight. Yeah.
And you guys had
boy, 6th grade.
Was he actually punching back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I did see him at the reunion. Did.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
You guys hey, you
we didn't
remember
talk
that?
about it. No, because I feel like it was embarrassing for him.
Why? Because you beat him?
I don't know if I think at the end we just walked away, but we went at it for a little bit.
You held your own,
whole
which is good
school.
enough.
I did.
Good enough.
He definitely didn't beat me up.
Right.
So I always had that thing where I felt bad for him. Like I felt bad that he had to be embarrassed about it, so I never brought it up again. I've seen him and heard from him through the years, Facebook, and I did see him at the reunion, and yeah.
and even though it's probably 40 years, give or take, like you still think about that, or are you like, we were kids, we're past it?
8 years.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
But you still.
I was 11.
Like when
and
you saw him, that came
bad
to
about
mind?
it for a long time
I
and was
bet.
embarrassed about it. And then when I had kids and they were 11, I go, oh, I was 11. I really need to forgive myself. Because
Right.
11 is 11.
That's what I'm saying.
But it bothered me through high school that I did that thing. Like I was embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
And then when I had kids and they were 11, like, oh, 11, they're babies. Like
Right.
I was a baby. I literally was a
Right.
baby. So
But
okay.
it's still in his head. I'm sure when he saw his
And I won't
reunion.
say his
Hi,
name
Diane.
either.
It's nice to
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he blocked it out. I don't like you block out.
And then you're like,
some of the
hey,
things you did.
Hey, John, come say hi to my sister. No.
She didn't go. She had no interest in seeing
He
anybody.
waved from across the room.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I did have another fist fight. And I can say this because, I haven't seen her in years, but we've talked over the years. My next door neighbor, Karen McKenzie, who was not quite a year older than us,
I
but
bet
she
she
was
still
in
is.
the same grade. But she was bigger. She was a big girl.
Okay.
And we were friends,
Yeah.
right? So we played together all the time. We hung out all the time. And I don't remember exactly what went down, but we were in my backyard and we had a moment where we got into a fist fight. Now, there's a girl who absolutely, positively would have, without a doubt, kicked my ass all over town unless I don't remember how it ended, if my mom called us out the back window or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
And, she'd be like, Aunt Dolores. She called my mother Aunt Dolores. So my mother wouldn't have been having it. And I'm sure that's how it ended. But just stupid me. Like, what was I thinking? Because she absolutely would have kicked my ass.
Oh, sometimes you just get
To
the
this
adrenaline.
day, she'd probably still kick my ass. I
Yeah.
have no doubt. But, there was a love-hate thing happening there. Because, then as the years went on, we were friends. And,
Yeah, and even after that, right? You went right back to being
God,
friends.
yeah.
Yeah, I had
Just like
that
my
with
sister
Bobby.
and me.
Yeah.
But she would have wiped the floor with me. No doubt.
Bobby Donahue, who was just in here 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, me and him lived next door to each other for 12 years. And, yeah, we were best friends and we fought. And then,
Yeah.
an hour later,
We
we're back
were
outside playing.
tomboys very much. We didn't do dolls and Barbies and things like that. We were always outside. We were always playing sports,
Yeah.
something like that. So it was just different, So we kind of acted like boys more. And so, yeah, we got into it a little bit.
When in the house that we raised our kids in down in Wantaw, there were some other kids on the block, and that were close in age to my guys, and but as they were getting older, like they didn't really play much with these kids, but there was a short window of time. I want to say my daughter, I think, was in 4th grade, where they would start coming around. They were starting to hang out, but also at that age, my daughter's
Developmentally.
yeah, like it was starting to show.
Okay.
So
Where the kids would notice it.
yes,
Right.
exactly.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And at first we were like, oh, this is great. These kids are accepting her and they're all hanging out. Only to realize that they were hanging out with her to make fun of her without her even realizing it. Yeah.
Because kids suck sometimes.
Right.
It just is what it is.
So we were trying to get Sammy to see that, but she still kept going out there. And we're
Because
like,
she was having a good time.
Exactly.
I know. That's a hard...
So one day we're home, and it was a Saturday afternoon, and Sammy comes running in. She goes up to Lisa. She goes, what? Lisa's like, I don't know, what? And Sammy said it again. She goes, what? Lisa, what? It was very strange. And then sure
the kids
enough,
told her your mom's calling you.
there it is.
Yeah.
And so we knew immediately what it was. But so we're trying to tell her, okay, you know what? Why don't you just stay in? No. I'm going to go back. And she insisted. And she starts to run out. Lisa goes and chases after her. But, she's a kid. She was faster. So it was only 2 houses over. Sammy's in front of the house, and sure enough, these kids are now gone. But we see them through their front window. So Sammy goes to the door's locked. So now Lisa's like, come on, let's just go home. So she wasn't like, but come on, like to walk her back.
Coaxing her home, yeah.
Sammy was fighting her, and within seconds, Sammy is screaming out in front of this house. She's crying, she's screaming. Lisa's like wrestling with her. To the point where 2 houses over the other way, was the mother of some of the other kids, but she heard the commotion, so she comes running over. She then yelled at the kids and really laid into them. We brought Sammy home, and that kind of killed the whole relationship. But so it must have been about 2 or 3 hours later, I see the father come pulling up in front of the house. Now, like you said, this guy, I mean, I'm 5'10". This guy was 6'2" at least, and he also works out. He was like an amateur fighter. Okay. Rumor around the neighborhood was that he was connected.
Okay.
So this was not a guy you want to mess with. But I mean, my adrenaline was up.
Right, your kid.
Right.
Your kid. It changes everything.
Everything.
I know it.
And we're I don't want to say face to face. We're face to chest, with him looking down at me. But I'm like, you could better go talk to your kids. Don't tell me what to do with my kids. I said, I'll tell you. And I told him what happened. It was, I'm sure that's not what they meant to do. I said, bullshit. That's exactly what they meant to do. And we're going back and forth. And he finally said something like, I don't like the way you're talking to me, or watch how you talk to me. Something like that. I forget exactly what he said. But my response was, and I'm pointing right. I go, what are you going to do? Get old Tony Soprano on me? And I remember as I'm saying it, pointing at him.
You can't take it back.
You can't, right? But I'm an actor, so I kept the face, I kept it going. But in my head, I'm like, "What are you, stupid? What the hell's wrong with you? You're about to die." But he totally backed off.
Wow.
Totally backed off. And then in my head, I'm like, "All right, well, I got to end this conversation so I can go home before I die."
Right.
And I really, even that night, like I thought,
you were worried that they were going to come back.
Yeah.
And do something.
I really thought, cement boots. Yeah. But
oh my God.
Really, I did.
But that's what happens when people mess with your kids.
Well, yeah,
no doubt.
Absolutely.
I get it.
But same thing, sister and.
Yeah, I had no reason though. I was a kid and just being stupid, honestly. But yeah.
And I guarantee he was sitting there at the reunion, like he's waiting. Like, I hope nobody else remembers that Diane beat me. Good for you.
Yeah, I didn't beat him, but there were punches thrown.
You beat him.
Sure.
You beat him.
It
didn't end with you crying or begging
but again,
for mercy.
I was 11, so I got a pass.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fremder just stopped by McDonald's and got me a McFlatchel. Vicky, I was in a French fry fight just last week. What, in Paris? There's better things to do in Paris. I don't get this one. Fremder, I just got me some new tires from Firestein. Now my car stops on a dime.
Dime.
I'm going to read it. I don't know why I am, but I'm going to read it. Once in school, I told my teacher I have to urinate. She replied, if you can use it in a sentence, I'll let you go. So I said, your tits are bigger. I think you're an 8. Oh, urinate. Oh, goodness gracious.
Come on, that's
Don't
funny.
encourage that. All right, then his last comment so far. A fighter, I guess in some cases, UFC stands for well, I'm not reading that from there. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Vicky's French fry fight was at home, not in Paris. But that's a waste of good fries. You spent, you put the effort in to make some fries, only to throw them. Yeah. Well, all right. Oh, yeah. Or unless they were doing, I won't. Okay. I feel bad. It just hit me. I forgot about that game we started playing last week. I forgot.
Oh.
I forgot all about it. That was fun.
Oh, and I wanted to say one thing. I listened one day. I don't remember what day it was. I was in the car. I was driving, and and I put on my phone Peter Schwartz's Sports Bench.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't listened. I haven't had a chance to listen. And you're right. That's a very professional show. And he does commercials. And we should do some commercials.
If I had sponsors, I would do commercials.
We can go get some and do commercials. If we can go get some sponsors and do some commercials. I think we'd be great in commercials. People,
find some
local places. We're going to do it.
We've had it. We've done them.
Do it.
Oh, I would love to do it. I need to make some money in here.
Okay. All
Is
right.
that something
we
you
could do commercials?
Yeah?
Why not?
You think you can make that happen?
I might be able to.
Because I would, yeah, of course you would get a cut for doing that.
I know some people. I know some places
that would
that
be
might
fantastic.
that maybe can't afford television spots, but might be willing to invest in some spots.
Sure.
Here.
Oh yeah, we're all small time potatoes, so we'll
there are
work with
ones
their
where
budgets.
we could do like a full blown commercial, and there are ones where you can just give them a mention.
Right.
Like when you come, we're.
That's what we used to do. If you want to mention, that's one price. If you want a graphic during like throughout the show, that's another
So
price.
you should work up some numbers for me
Okay.
so I can make the pitch.
Okay.
Because I don't know, what these things go for. But I would make the pitch.
You just made my day because I've been looking for a very long time for somebody to do
Okay,
that.
we can make this happen.
And it doesn't even have to be.
I feel confident we can make this happen.
All right, and it could be not just this show. It could be
For the
other,
right, so
right.
they could get for the whole week. You'd right,
But
mention
other
the whole week.
But I mean other shows here too.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that'd be. All right, hang on. See, again, I say this all the time. Just when you think she doesn't get any better.
I mean, I was thinking this show just because I'm
Right.
I'm good at kind of selling myself. No, you know what I mean. Like
I know what you mean.
So I'm good at that, and I could, I could.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I feel like
Yeah.
the Knockem Dead comedy thing, and that at other shows too. But yes, we could make that. I feel like we can do that. But you got to work out the numbers
Okay.
for me so I know what
All
the
right.
pitch is.
I will do that. That's fantastic. That is I've been looking. We had somebody, Gina, who still watches
I just assumed
sometimes.
you didn't do that, but then I heard
No.
Peter. I'm like, but Peter does that, and
Peter
it's very
does it?
professional.
Oh,
and his Embassy
Peter's-
Diner commercial. I'm like, we could totally do that, Tony.
Oh, would love to do that.
Something, not obviously not the Embassy Diner because he's
Right.
got that one covered, but there are other places.
Maybe
we
a
could
nice,
do.
like a nice romantic getaway to Italy. We can film that together.
Probably not.
Oh,
But okay, we're gonna. This is gonna be good.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Gina, who once in a while watches. Once in a while, her name pops up. She was doing that for a while, and we had graphics. Did we do any? I think we did some videos for some people. Yeah. So yeah, we can. Yeah, but Peter, yeah. I mean, it doesn't get any more professional
He's
than that
a
man.
pro, boy.
He knows what he's doing.
He
and-
really does.
Yeah. Well, the rest of us like, and Peter's Sports Bash brought to you by.
What do I got to do to get on that show?
Well, I don't think you have to worry
I wouldn't leave you, Tony. I'm just kidding. But
until
no.
Peter says,
no,
"Yeah, come
no."
on."
But that was very
I
professional.
know, I'm starting to sense it now because
Does
last
he only do Tuesdays or does
Tuesdays and Thursdays,
Oh, okay.
and today.
I think it was Thursday. Now that you said that, I think
Mm-hmm.
it was Thursday. I was listening.
Today, in fact, speaking of Peter, in fact, it's already happened. At 11 a.m. this morning, Mr. General Manager of the
Oh, he's going to
Dragons,
announce.
he
I
announced.
think I know who it's going to be, but I'm not
well-
going to give it up because I gave up the Star Spangled Banner thing the last time.
You can give it up. They already announced it. It was 11 o'clock this morning. They
Oh,
announced
did
it.
they?
Yeah. So, and then whoever that guy is, so the press conference was at 11.
I thought it was going to be Boomer.
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah, that's what I thought because he said he's from Long Island.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's see if we can find out real quick. So he's. The press conference was at 11 this morning, so he said there's no way he's going to be able to get in here for his show.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's
For some reason, I saw him post on Facebook, and in my mind, I guess I just told myself he was going to announce it on the show.
Well,
Okay.
what he's doing is he's doing the show today at 4, and he's bringing that new coach in with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I'll get a chance to listen then. That's
Oh.
great.
Gerald Filardi.
I don't know.
Oh wait, no, that was the head coach and director of football operations.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
We're
but
gonna find out.
Let's find out.
We're going to find out.
Gerald Filardi, head coach, director of football operations for the 2025 season, a name synonymous with football on Long Island. Filardi has been the varsity head coach at Half Hollow Hills West High School in Dix Hill since 2019.
Oh, wow.
This past season, he led the Colts to a 9-2 overall record in the Suffolk County Division III, including 7-1 in the regular season. Wow, that's impressive.
Wow.
In 2012, he founded the Long Island Spartans, Long Island's first travel football team. Really? And followed that up in 2013 with the formation of Long Island Elite Football, the region's first travel elite youth
Wow.
football program. Wonder what does that mean? Like people with money?
Elite.
The
I would
elite.
say, just
Like the real excellent
top
players?
grade players. Yeah.
The New York Dragons are thrilled to welcome Gerald as the man who will lead us onto the field for our inaugural ENTFLA season, said Dragons general manager Peter Schwartz. Who is a real professional.
Yeah.
He checked all the boxes for us in our search for a head coach. Gerald is a proven leader and winner who is driven to grow football on Long Island at all levels. He shares our vision of building a championship roster loaded with Long Island and area talent. We welcome the entire Fogarty family into our organization, including Gerald's wife, Kim, and his sons, Gerald Jr., Jack, and Joseph. And by the way, Diane can sing.
Does not say that. Stop.
I'm feeling it, though. Peter came in here last week, talked about it on his show, about your singing voice and how
That's very nice.
And now you're here talking. She is. We're going to lose Diane. She's going to go sit with Peter.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I get to see him every day when he comes. Every Tuesday when he comes in.
Well, you could do both. Frank says we should try for Guy B's music store on Thursdays. Oh. You know Guy Brogna? Brogna?
I do not.
He's one of. There's two guys. They book the entertainment for the Bancella Jones Beach. They do Rick Eberly. He's one of them. You know
I
Rick?
do know
yeah.
who that
so
is.
Rick is one of them, and Guy Brogna. They do. I think they do Eisenhower Park too.
Okay.
But Guy also owns a music store called All Music in Plainview. But you don't know Nassau County, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. Plainview is a town north of here.
Plainview. I travel around the area now. I didn't when I was younger.
So he owns All Music. So Frank's saying we should get him to sponsor. Guy does some work with some other podcast stations. So I don't know, but we've known him since we were kids. So yeah, he should be here. Rusiello, easy, Diane. Remember who you're talking to. Who knows? So there's so many different reasons for you to say that. So we don't know exactly when you said that. Filardo says, "Fremder, sounds like something I need gas X for."
Like a farty, gas
Oh.
X.
Is that what that means?
I think so.
I thank God you're here. I have no idea what goes on half the time. All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, like I tell you every week, Tuesday trivia. All you got to do is put your answers in the comment thread. Diane's going to answer them as well. I ask 10 questions. I do not give the answers until all the questions are asked. Then I ask them again. And I go through everybody's answers, make fun of you for how wrong you are, and then tell you the correct answer. But I tell you every week, just for playing, it doesn't matter how many you get right or wrong. All you got to do is play. And then you let me know if you want to see a show here at Governor's, because I can get you into most shows. Most shows. Yeah. I was telling them yesterday they had a show on Sunday for this comedian who's dying of cancer.
Yes. You told me.
So I mentioned it yesterday. So not only she was at the point where they weren't sure if she was even going to be alive by the time the show happened. But not only did she make it, but she actually got up on stage and did some stuff.
Oh, that's so great.
It was it was heavy. It was heavy, but at the same time, she's up on stage. She finished her set, and then she was telling everybody how happy she is that everybody was here for this living wake. I had never heard that term before.
I have been a proponent of such things my entire life. I am so completely against all of what's considered the normal things to do when somebody dies.
You're against it.
I hate it. I hate the whole funeral, being casket, buried, all of it. I think it's terrible, and I think it's a huge scam. And when my dad passed in 2005, we knew it was coming, and we'd say to my mom, "What do you want to do?" "Well, we have to do." No, we don't have to do any of that.
That's right.
Right? And he would hate it. So we didn't. We had him directly cremated, and then although we did do it at the funeral home because it was convenient, but we had a celebration. So we had people come, we played music, nobody was to wear black. It was, it just wasn't your typical
That's cool.
thing. So And now, even more so, I wouldn't do the funeral home thing. You know, we probably won't get any funeral home sponsorships
I'm right
after
with
this. But, you know, I am all about, if you know it's coming, let's, you know, the idea that people come to the wake when they haven't seen somebody for 10 years. What the heck for? What are you doing?
Right.
Why are we doing that? And then everybody feels okay because they showed up at the wake? They're dead. You're not doing that for the dead person. You're doing that for the family. If you want to do something for the person, let's get together before. Let's have a party. Let's have a celebration. Yes, death sucks. Yes, it's sad, but everybody's going to do it.
Right. There's no way around it.
Why are we... It's definitely not the worst thing that can happen to you. Not even close, in my opinion. There are so many things worse that could happen to you than death. So
interesting. Okay.
Why do we do that? Why do we wait till somebody dies and then spend thousands of dollars on flowers and a wooden box to put them in the ground? And are you kidding me? With satin. Oh my God.
Yep. I agree.
Just makes me crazy. So,
so
you know, come see me because my brain's going to Stony Brook and I don't know where the rest of me's going because I really couldn't care less.
Can I have it?
Yeah, but the rest. But hopefully, by the time I go, you're not going to want it.
I probably will.
It's going to be used up. It's going to be done. So
sorry.
That's okay.
See, that's what I mean. Funny. I say stupid shit like that.
It was funny. It was funny, thanks. But I love. Yes, I love the idea of that. That's great. Celebration. Let's everybody get together and in honor of this person, and hopefully they can be there.
Well,
and then not do that other stuff.
But that's my question. Does the person like to do that? Are you saying it's only for somebody that is dying? Just do it before they die, or do it for anybody? Like whether they're dying, sick or not.
It's sick. I mean, sick or not. But if you know it's coming.
Okay.
Let's do something.
Oh yeah, especially if you know it's coming.
Let's
but you're
get
not
everybody
saying,
here. Let's everybody's gonna wait. Well, because I'm waiting for the funeral. Like you know somebody's dying, so you're not gonna come because you know you're gonna have to come for the funeral. Right. Well, how about we don't have the funeral and you come now?
Right.
Right. So if people are coming from out of state and they can only travel once, and I totally get that. It's an expense. But why are you going to wait for them to die?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. To me, let's plan something while they're still here.
Lisa did that with her father. Her father died in 2022. And they knew it was coming. So they did. The night before, they just welcomed anybody to the house. And
absolutely.
They all came. They said goodbye. That. He died the next day.
Let's do that. That's what unless the person's in a condition where they don't want to see people. But if you are able and lucky enough to be, even if you're sick, in a condition where you can see, let's do that.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what made this so special. It was sad. It was heavy, especially for these poor comedians. Like, the comedians were hand-chosen who are personal friends with her. Mm-hmm. So these guys were like, they were a mess, but they went up there.
And they did it.
They did it, and they did it very, very well.
Great.
But, so it was heavy, but that made it almost beautiful at the same time that we were there.
Right. I agree.
And yeah, they still think it's any day. It's going to happen any day now, which is just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
To me. Yeah.
But that's going to be a memory. That's going to for everybody who was there.
Oh, absolutely.
And she gets to go out with that.
Right.
And all that love and all that. That's great. That's the way to do it.
Right. And me and Don actually said that afterwards. We were like, this was something, we were so glad that we were here for it. And we said, this is, when we talk about this place, sharing memories about, that's going to be definitely top 5 for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
That was such a historic,
and even
special
if you
moment
can't,
for us.
like, you're not able to have something like that, but, we still have people, now they come for the funeral. How about, again, they didn't come because they couldn't. We don't have a funeral, and somewhere down the road we have a party, a celebration. Come for that, where it's a happy event, right?
Do we make that a new segment in here where we mention somebody next week, and we just talk about them for a few minutes? Anybody?
We can do that.
Sure. If you pick somebody, doesn't have to be somebody I know.
Celebrate a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where we I would do that.
So I got to remember the pictures.
That's okay.
What did I call it? Who is that? I don't remember.
Yeah,
what I
something.
Called it.
Who is this? Something.
I know what that means. Okay. And then Living Wake. Well, we don't have to call it that.
Now we're going to have to fly through Tuesday trivia. I'm sorry, but I had a couple of things to say.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, it works out because I went super easy this week.
Oh, good.
For most of the questions.
So I can get some right.
I don't know if you'll get this one. Because you don't follow like the superhero movies and all that stuff?
little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
All right, question number 1. What popular Marvel show was just brought back in 2025 after 5 years of not being around? So this is a series. It's probably one of their more popular series. It's been gone for 5 years.
A movie?
No, it's a series. A
television series.
Marvel has several TV shows on Disney. This is probably the most popular one. It was gone for 5 years, just brought back, just premiered a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm giving it all away for all you people that somewhat know what I'm talking about. Oh, Carol's here. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
You're just in time. Vicky's here. Bosie's here. Yeah, what better way to celebrate life than picking up your part of the check at a Chili's? Fremder wants to know if you'll plan his funeral.
Sure. It would be fun. I'll guarantee you that. Fun and dirty. Right? No.
I like the way you said
theme.
That. Oh, we would have fun picking on Fremder.
Yes.
All right. Do you have an answer for me?
No, I don't.
Okay. Question number 2. I don't even know why I'm bothering. It's so easy. How many minutes in an hour?
You did not.
I swear. How many minutes in an hour?
60.
Told you I went easy this week.
Wow. You knew we weren't going to have a lot of time.
What city will the 2028 Summer Olympics be held? Maybe I didn't go easy. What city will the 2028 Summer Olympics be held?
I feel like I want to say Los Angeles.
Then you should say that if that's what you think.
To the United States, I can't remember. There was a time when I knew that, but I don't.
You should.
Okay.
I have faith in you.
You like that answer?
I do.
Okay.
Another easy one. What are the 5 senses?
Oh, taste, smell, hearing, sight, and feel.
Okay. Question number 5. Another easy one. Which vegetable, if I could say it, which vegetable is believed to help you see better?
Carrots. I ate a lot of them. I ate a lot of them yesterday.
Nice.
I can't see any better, but I
was about
ate
to ask
a
you if
lot
you
of
can
them.
see better. Well, you wouldn't want to see better here after you leave. Another easy one. What is the name of Batman's butler?
Oh. Everybody knows this, and I just can't think of it right now. Alfred.
Another easy one. What is the name of the currency used in Mexico?
Pesos.
I was going to say, you'll definitely get that. Question number 8. All right, a little harder. How many countries are there in the world?
235.
Okay. What is the definition of the word zenith?
A top? Pinnacle? Like the top of something? I don't know exactly.
Okay. What percentage of women, this is our last question, what percentage of women have one breast that is larger than the other? Multiple choice. 25% of women have one breast larger than the other, 50% or 75%?
75.
So, wow, you're going high up there. Look at you. Look at you. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? Thank you guys for playing along, by the way. Ann is all excited about trivia. Whoa, hey, what was that? Fremda, seriously, she could sense a fart joke better than what's wrong with your nose. What? Better than you. What's wrong with you? I don't know what he's talking about.
That I got the fart joke.
Oh, I see. Rusiello agrees with you about the funerals. So does Diane. I worked at a mortuary for a spell, and cremation was the only way to go. A peaceful service is better. Amen. Oh, it must be interesting to work in a place like that. I don't think I could do it.
I could.
Yeah?
Because the dead don't bother me. Like, I don't, no, I mean, it doesn't creep me out. I'm not afraid of them. I think you have much more to be afraid of with live people.
Well, true.
But for some people, death creeps them out.
Yeah, that's me.
So I could do it. I just don't really like the whole tradition of all of that. I think they prey on the families to spend all this money
crazy
for what?
money.
It's stupid. Like, more than you spend on a wedding. Like, why in the world would you do any of that? I just, and I've always felt that way. Ever since a little kid, I never understood. And I know people get caught up in the tradition. Oh, well, my mom just assumed you had to.
Right.
You don't have to do any of it. You can't go dig a hole and put them in your backyard, but.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I wish you could.
I've asked to be stuffed. I like to be stuffed and just sat
I'm
in the
sure
living
you
room.
would, but nobody's going to do that. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen.
They've done that. You can find it on the internet. People have done that where they have the person, like, instead of just laying in the coffin, they have them like sitting in a chair.
Irish
People
funeral.
have done that. Really? Yeah.
I have never been to one, but my mother-in-law, who was a very, very Irish lady, one of the greatest women I've ever known, she, when she was a kid, went to plenty of traditional Irish funerals in the home.
Yeah.
And they sit the corpse up in the casket and put drinks in his hand.
Really?
Yes, that was a thing. They had fun with the corpse.
I remember one video I saw. The guy wasn't even in the casket. He's just in a chair.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yep, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Yep.
Did I ever tell you my grandmother tried to take me with her? Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
So going with tradition and stuff, sometimes, like the Catholic Church, they tell you it has to be a funeral. You have to be buried.
I understand, but
so
I'm not
that's
religious,
why some people do it.
So I'm not a religious person, right?
So my grandmother was a very religious person. So she's getting buried right here in Westbury at Holy Rood. That way. Westbury, we grew up in Hicksville. My grandfather, her husband, died 14 or 15 years before her. So she used to take me to the cemetery all the time. So even today, I can tell you exactly where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
So we had, and I have a lot of family from Islip and Suffolk County. So the whole family's standing there. So the casket's in the middle, above the hole. We're on one side of the casket. The other side of the casket is the mound of dirt from the hole.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And covering the dirt is a tarp.
Yes.
A big giant green tarp,
Mm-hmm.
and it covered the whole thing. And then this is the part I never understood. It comes down from the dirt, and then goes over the hole,
Okay.
and then we're standing on more of it on the other side.
Okay.
That I didn't understand, but from where we were standing, we couldn't see really the headstone. So I'll never forget it. My cousin Michael says to me, I'm 19 at the time, and my cousin Michael says to me, I'd like to get a better view of the. I don't think I've ever been here. I'd like to get a view of the headstone. He goes, especially to see our grandfather's name. I said, oh, all right, well, it's on the other side, the far side from where we're standing. I said, if we go by the dirt, you'll be able to see it, so come with me. So I'm leading him. I start to walk in between the casket and the mound of dirt, because, the tarp is there, but I assumed that there was a little bit of grass in between the casket and the dirt, and there wasn't. I went right down. I totally went in.
Oh my God, that's so great.
I went.
And it's deep too.
Well, yes and no. So first off, it was just like that, and I landed right on my feet. So it was like the blink of an eye. So it was like all of a sudden, I'm walking with my cousin Michael. The next second, I'm like, and I swear to you, that's exactly what happened. I just went like this.
Where the hell am I?
Surrounded by dirt, I'm standing on plywood. I'm like, what the? And then I hear, and the first thing I hear, my mother is freaking out. My mother is imagining me going down like, an endless pit or something. The ground level. So I think it was 6 feet.
6
so
feet,
I'm
yeah.
5'10", so it was right here. So I stick my hand out. I go, I'm fine. And then there was actually a metal frame, which I never knew. I always thought they just threw the casket in. It was actually a metal frame that
right,
sits
because
in.
otherwise the ground would cave and
yeah, true.
So
it was plywood, but I apparently I hit so hard and landed on my feet that everything flew out of my pockets.
Oh.
So I'm fine. Then I realized, I was like,
Now you start.
so I put my hand out again. I said, I'll be right out. I just have to find my keys, I yelled. And my wallet too, but I just said keys. So I did. I found my wallet quickly, but I guess, the vibration of it all, keys were under dirt.
Oh.
So it took me a second to find them. I found them quickly, and then I just climbed right out. But then the funeral director, she made a beeline. Shoo, are you okay? She's thinking, lawsuit. I was like, I'm fine. She did tell me if my grandfather wasn't there first, because she was getting buried on top of him.
Okay.
If he wasn't there already, she said it would have been 18 feet.
Yeah, you would have gotten hurt.
Yeah, but it was only 6, and I slid straight down. We went back. The hearse driver thought we were nuts, because the whole family goes back to this hearse, and we're laughing our asses off.
But that's kind of.
It was great. It was hysterical.
Funny.
It was hysterical, and we go back to the get-together after the funeral, where we're doing nothing but laughing and having a great time.
And as far as tradition goes, like the way the Jewish people do it, I think that's great. So they prepare the body. You kind of go back into the earth the way you came out. They just clean the body and the oils and the no clothes and a blanket.
Yeah.
And you're in, right? And none of that. Let's embalm them so that we can preserve them, so they can lay them out in a funeral home for days and charge thousands of dollars. It's all that stuff. That just freaks me out.
All right, let's get through this.
Go ahead.
Because it's already late. Stick with us. We'll just do 3 more minutes. We'll get through this. What popular Marvel show was brought back in 2025 after 5 years? Diane did not have an answer. Carol's got it. Romeo does not. Vicky's got it. Friender's got it.
Captain America?
Daredevil.
Okay.
And Romeo said Iron Man. How many minutes in an hour do we really have to go through that? Friender, go figure. Luke Cage was bulletproof. All right, I don't know why he's saying that. But he was. And, of course, you got to go back and just watch the first episode of Luke Cage, just so you can see me. And episode 7, season 1 of Hunters with Al Pacino. Big close-up of my face. No, I was joking. In what city will the 2028 Summer Olympics be held?
Los Angeles.
That is correct. Vicky got it too. Bosie said France. Carol said L.A. Romeo said L.A. and so did Anne. Fremder says if you plan his funeral, he will kill himself as soon as this show is over.
No, don't do it. I will still plan your funeral, but don't kill yourself. Now, if you do it, I just won't to spite you, so you can't do it.
Frank says the Olympics are going to be in Hicksville. Okay. Okay. What are the 5 senses? Again, another easy one. Sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Bosie said 5 pennies. I have no idea what he's talking about. Carol says all what Diane said. Yeah, Vicky got it too. Okay. What vegetable is believed to help you see better?
Carrots.
Romeo got it. Jeff Bosie said broccoli. Vicky got it too. Okay. What is the name of Alfred's? What is
Alfred. Alfred's name is Alfred. Yes.
Batman's butler is named Alfred. Diane got it. Carol got it. Vicky, I think Vicky got it. Yeah, Vicky got it. Romeo got it. Bosie said Jarvis. Rob Sayforth got it. Okay. Yeah, and taste, smell, hearing, sight. You missed taste? No, you missed touch. Yeah, you missed touch. What is the currency used in Mexico?
Pesos.
That is correct. Carol got that one. Vicky got it. Jeff Bosie says ruples. Ann got it. Oh. All right, Fremder, I'm not reading that one. Fremder played. He had a little fun with Alfred's last name. But Romeo got pesos as well. Okay. How many countries are there in the world? You said?
I said 235.
Bosie says 2, and I don't think anybody else answered it. Not that I see. And I'm looking at all comments, not just top comments. Yeah, I don't see anybody else answer it. You were close.
237.
Close, but over.
Okay.
193.
Oh, That wasn't that close, but okay.
No, I would say that's close with all the countries in the world. I was actually impressed that you were within 20 or 30.
Thank you for being impressed. It doesn't take much to impress you.
No, maybe.
Okay.
But you're still Diane. I'm always impressed with you.
Thank you.
No, Zenith is not a TV. I knew they were going to answer with that. I knew it. Carol did it and Rob did it. Fremder. Orgasm, 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 and orgasm. That's what he wrote.
It's the five senses.
Oh, it's the five senses. I thought he was talking about Zenith because you're right. It's the pinnacle. It's the top.
See, again, I can read him very well. I think I'm correct about that. Maybe, he can let us know, but I think that's the five senses, as according to Fremder.
It could be. Oh, Vicky was close. She said 195 countries.
Wow,
sorry,
Vicky,
I missed that.
woo!
Vicky, sorry. Bosie says VCRs and TVs. Yes. Okay. What? Vicky says the point directly over your head.
Zenith.
Yeah, but would that count?
I wouldn't. I don't know. I think the zenith. I don't know. I feel like it's the top of something or the highest point. And So what's the answer?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the highest, most successful point of a situation.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes, like the pinnacle, right? Fremder,
I like when you ask easy questions.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's more fun for me.
Oh, okay.
Not how many minutes in an hour. Like, make us
that was
try.
a little too easy. Fremder, I love all breasts, whether they need a shopping cart or whether they're part of the itty-bitty titty committee. I love it all. Okay, thanks. Tony, it's a good job, says Ann, and I have stories. I definitely got educated seeing the whole process. I have heard that there's good money in it. Well, obviously, because they charge a lot of money. Carol almost became a mortician when she graduated from Cosmo School. The story behind it is insane. Ran out after 10 minutes after an incident.
Oh.
All right, next Tuesday, we're going to get you on the phone.
Share that.
Growing up in the Bronx, says John, most of the Irish wakes were in the house, booze and beer, and telling stories about the deceased. Scott, thank goodness I don't have to deal with death. I'm a Russian bot. I believe it. Well, at least now you know you can fit all the walkers in the same plot. Fremder, Carol, us Jews do it right. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
I
one with the
agree.
earth.
If you have tradition, I believe you do it right.
Bosie, how does 5 pennies equal to 5 cents? Womp womp. Kenny Freeberg is watching. Hello, Kenny. All right.
Answer the titty question.
Yes, the last. Oh, that's why Fremder wrote that about titties. Mm-hmm. Okay. What percentage of women have one breast that is larger than the other? 25, 50, or 75? Diane said 75. Carol says 75. Romeo says 75. Ann says 75. Bosie says 53.
I think it's a very normal thing.
Vicky says 75. It is more normal than you would think. However,
we're wrong.
75 is incorrect. It is 50.
Really?
Yep, it's 50.
Okay.
Very nice. Well done. Singing anywhere this weekend?
No, I had a really fun private party Saturday night with Dave Saul.
Oh,
it was
nice.
A really good time.
Cool. But this weekend, nothing?
Nothing this weekend, but I have a couple of things coming up in April, so I'll keep you posted.
Yes, please do.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make a... We all need to meet up and go.
We should do a field trip.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And we'll talk about John the whole time. Okay. All right. So it is time to get out of here. Like I said, Peter is on today, special time. He's on at 4:00, and he's bringing on, was it Gabriel Byrne?
Filardi or...
Gene Filardi? Was that it?
Filardi? Yeah.
Gene Filardi, the new head coach. Did you see that? The new head coach of the New York Dragons will be here today at 4:00. And then that's it for today. Hershey and Keeg has canceled. Keegan got a last-minute comedy gig, and Hershey didn't want to find a guest co-host, so they're not on tonight. After Peter, that's it for today. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow at 9. Me and Mike will be here tomorrow at 11, and then Circling the Drain tomorrow night at 7. And that is it. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
She's the best. You guys enjoy the rest of your... before I forget, Governors this weekend. Des Bishop, Vanessa Marcil, and Rena Sofer from General Hospital.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you know who they are?
Vanessa Marcil and Rena Sofer. Yeah, I know who they are.
Both of them. Gorgeous.
Oh, my God.
Gorgeous women.
Crazy.
They'll be here, I think it's Saturday afternoon. Might be Sunday. Lil Mo Mozzarella is at the club this weekend. Richie Byrne, that's Thursday night. Thursday night in the Giggle Room. Richie Byrne, Chuck Fox, Mike Keegan, and our buddy Tyler Noble playing in the Giggle Room. Other names playing Governors this weekend: John Ziegler, Joe Curry, James Grimm, Damian Lemon, and Peter Antonio.
Okay.
However you say it. Okay. Go to govs.com, make your reservations to some great comedy shows. Check out knockemdeadcomedy.com for our schedule, as well as information how you can hire us for your event. From there, happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Make sure you eat out. Ann says, we have a date in the morning, my sweets. Hugs. Oh, all right. Oh, see you tomorrow, sweetie. All right, you guys just calm down.
That's so sweet. I love it.
See you tomorrow, honey.
See you, lovey.
See, she had to close her eyes. She can't even look